quick introduction about the company that I'm representing, that is DataCouch. So we are into cutting-edge technology solutions, like Teresha just mentioned. So not only we are into cloud systems, data engineering, and Web 3.0 digital transformation technologies, but we are also very deeply into AI and ML initiatives. That also includes generative AI as well as agentic AI solution development. Some of the most important offerings that we offer is that we offer customized and persona-based enterprise training and consulting solutions, generative AI coaching, especially for leadership roles, agentic AI solution development and deployment, modern data engineering, academy setup, end-to-end your helping you to set up your end-to-end learning and development academies, virtual lab solution, and on-demand expertise. Some of the companies where we have left our footprint as instructors, as consultants, as service providers, as solution developers and implementers, and partners belong to different sectors and all across the world. That includes Fortune 500, global Fortune 500 names, for example, like Google, Infosys, Salesforce, AWS, Apple. In the IT and tech space, or Visa, SoftBank, Intuit, Scotiabank, and so on. In the banking and financial space, CVS Pharmacy and Blue Shield, Blue Cross in the health and pharmaceutical space, Oman Capital in the petroleum and energy spaces, or Siemens or Renault in the manufacturing industrial spaces, and so on and so forth. Some of the most prominent partnerships, and we are not including our partnerships, strategic partnerships like Training Force here. We are just focusing only on the tech product companies that have their technology products in the space and who are the leaders in that particular space. So for the data warehousing, we have one of our partners is Snowflake, and we are their official training resellers. For Confluent, we are their partners for global education delivery for past 8 years. And out of those, in the past 3 years, we have been the only company to be awarded the official training delivery partner award for the past 3 years in a row. For Starburst, we were their first official training delivery partner. We customize solutions for the Starburst clients and help them implement Starburst solutions that allows you to query your data from anywhere. Does not matter where your data is. Neo4j is a very, very specific company that deals in the graph data sets and graph databases. So for Neo4j, we are providing end-to-end enablement. For example, we are able to find the gap. We did the course development. We are delivering the training for them, for their partners, for their private batches as well as public batches. And we are also developing advanced courses and solutions that involve the graph databases and AI. And as I mentioned earlier, in the generative AI, AI/ML space, we deliver tailor-made courses, coaching, and so on and so forth. One of the most key competencies of our company has been artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all the subsets and subspaces within this domain. So in this, we are very, very excited that we were among the first few companies in India to have adopted generative AI as and when it launched, and even before it launched, because we were keenly and closely following the research in that space. So today we are proud to say that we have enabled many, many teams and many, many leaders with generative AI skill sets. We offer a plethora of persona-based learning journeys, not only individual courses, and then we offer agentic AI coaching and implementation services for the IT teams of the companies that are part of this. Very briefly, I'm Mudit with 20 plus years in education, and I'm still collecting student memes. I hope that I would get a few good memes out of this session also. I've helped teams from Intuit to Barclays and from Walmart to Johnson & Johnson. So whether you are selling sneakers or shampoo, does not matter. We have probably crossed paths in a data warehouse somewhere. Think of me as your Google Maps for AI. I may occasionally read out, but I'll get you there. All right. So with that, let me take you to the agenda for the session. Before that, there are a few requests from my end. As I'm using Teams for the first time in many, many months. So if there is any question or something, you can park those questions in chat, and we would be happy to take most of the questions at the end of the session. Secondly, if you have anything that you want to ask, obviously that's part of the question. that would be there. And as Karisha mentioned, this session would be available as an online recording on DataCouch YouTube channel. So we are going to share those details also with you at the end. More importantly, this is going to be a mix of hands-on exercise as well as some instructional material. So hands-on exercises are going to focus primarily on prompt engineering. And if you find that my pace is very slow or very, very fast, let me know in chat. And Karisha, you can unmute me and let me know if I'm moving too fast or too slow. All right.
Sure.
So thank you. So we are going to focus upon four different aspects of this. So initially, we are going to start with the introduction to generative AI. I know that this is the buzzword, but we have to understand the premise of generative AI so that we can effectively use it in our work daily, right? And how does it help us make money? That's the point we are here for. And we also need to understand how do we speak fluent prompt. So for example, I may be a fluent speaker of English, although it's not my first language, but I may be a fluent speaker of English. But whenever you are dealing with any generative AI, whether it is to, let's say, write an email or create an image or develop a video or to process some audio or to process your minutes of the meeting, does not matter. You need to speak the language of prompt. So that is what we are going to learn in this session. Then in the end, I'm just going to focus upon some challenges that generative AI is and may present in the future, and how can we address those challenges, and how data couch and training course can help you address those challenges in a more systematic and structured manner so that you come out as winners. All right. So with that, let's start the discussion. So when we talk about generative AI, let me just very, very quickly demystify it. So from 1956, the question was, can we make computers think to 2023's, can they file our tax returns, right? So the key idea at every successive evolution of generative AI has been from AI to machine learning to deep learning to generative AI, and now today it is agentic AI. What is agentic AI? We are going to discuss that also in a bit from now. Uh, at every level, we are adding autonomy to the system, right? Uh, Initially, it was AI, which was a kind of what do you say, a super program that was there. Then machine learning that recognized the patterns on its own. Then deep learning that was designed to think like a human brain. Then generative AI that not only thought about it, made predictions and did classifications, but also generated content, and more importantly, agentic AI, which not only generates the content but also does something for you. For example, booking your tickets or canceling a meeting or taking the notes for you and automatically sending out emails to all the participants in the meeting as the minutes of the meeting, and so on and so forth. Now, there might be a few things, and I would be waiting for your. I'm just going to ask you a question. My question to you is, what do you think if you have agentic AI or AI agents as your co-workers, let's say a couple of years down the line, do you think would they also be eligible to ask for annual leaves? What do you think? You can type your responses in chat. If you have AI agents or bots as your colleagues, would they be also asking for annual leaves? Right? So this is something that you can ponder on. Now, when we talk about generative AI revolution, you have to look at the timeline, and we are not going back till 1956. We are just going to take the timeline from 2014 till today. Not today exactly, but a couple of months ago, right? And if you look at this timeline of AI revolution from 2014 onwards, there would be a very, very clear pattern that you might be able to spot. Let me help you with that pattern. So research is typically followed by product development, and then industry case studies appear throughout the world. And there might be a few meme moments here and there in between also, which is, I would say, one of the ultimate forms of intelligence, that it can also lead to some sort of humor in our lives. Now, if you look at the evolution of DALI or Midjourney or Sora, so all of these tools have been kind of like there for generating images. And yes, even Wendy's drive-throughs were there. So if you just look at the case study, or if you just look at the use case of Wendy's drive-throughs in the USA, you would see that why it became a meme material and went viral all along in the US, right? So tech is moving faster than a limited time price offer. That is what we want to focus upon. Earlier, the cycle of evolution for tech used to be decades. It came down crashing to a couple of years, and today it is a couple of months. And it is quite likely that with generative AI or agentic AI writing the code itself, thinking just like humans do, but untiringly and 24 by 7, it is quite possible that these generative AI tools may start bringing out new changes and bringing out new paradigms in a matter of weeks rather than months, not far ahead from now. So that is what we have to deal with, and that is what we have to be ready for. Now, generative AI can actually make our lives much more easier as professionals, as business owners, as people who are going to deal with different stakeholders and regulators and customers and other colleagues, employees of a company, and many more people, right? For example, there is a customer service call about a specific problem that a customer is facing. So the customer might actually call the customer support executive. The entire script can be generated with the help of a generative AI model. Now, no one is actually writing that transcript. No human is involved in writing that transcript, but there are tools. For example, whatever I'm speaking right now, based upon my pronunciation, my accent, the Teams tool is actually producing live captions right now. You can turn on the live captions, and for 99% of the words, it is going to give you the right captions, closed captions, right? It is live transcription that is happening. And this entire conversation can also get saved later on to generate the minutes of the meeting and many more things, right? There are multiple tools like that. So, for example, one of the most popular tool is Otter. I've seen many people use that in especially their Zoom meetings. There is the Read AI, Fireflies. These are some of the tools that I've also used. And my team also says that there are many other tools, and there are extensions that are available for Teams or Google Meet and many other things. And recently, if you might have seen one of the features of Google Meet that was recently launched in the Google I/O Summit, it was that during a live meeting. Hello. Sorry.
Hello.
Yes, someone was speaking. I'm sorry. Who's that?
I think it was an error. It was Michelle. No worries, you can
Okay,
proceed.
no worries. Thank you. All right. So in that, right now, whatever I'm speaking, it is being captioned in English only, right? But in that particular Google Meet video, the demonstration video that Google let out in the world, you can go and check that on YouTube also. Two people were discussing something with each other. Probably they were making plans for holidays. One was speaking in English, the other one was speaking in Spanish, and literally there was live audio translation that was happening. So in the fly, on the fly, I'm speaking with you in English. Automatically, it is translated into Spanish, and automatically, literally, a Mudit-like sound would be there to present to you what I wanted to say to you in whatever native language you speak. Right now, it is between English and Spanish because the American market has these two languages as the predominant languages. But Google Meet is going to roll it out for many more languages all across the world. So this is the power of generative AI that we are going to deal with, not here in this session, but in our lives. Now, there are some examples that we can take, and I'll just give you one simple example. What happens behind the scenes? So there would be a prompt that would start everything. It's like there was the word in the beginning, right? So there would be a prompt to generate the minutes of the meeting that we just discussed about the interaction between the customer and the customer support executive. So there would be a prompt to generate the minutes of the meeting in a specified format. So you specify the prompt. Once that prompt is given, it should be well structured to transform the raw transcript into a clear set of minutes, right? You specify the output sections. It could be the meeting title, the date, the attendees, the summary that you require, the decision, the action items, and so on and so forth, including the owners and the deadlines, right? It can include guidance on the length that you want one paragraph summary and then bullets, and then the tone, whether it should be concise and neutral or whether it should be descriptive or it should be more casual, whatever you want to keep, that's totally up to you. You can also ask the models that you would be using to tag each item either as the action item, the decision item, or the information item. So it is easy to scan and import that into the project tools also, right? So for example, you might be, some of you might be using some sort of CRM tools, right? It could be Jira, it could be Zoho, it could be Trello. So it is also possible to scan those documents with the help of those tools and to get all those minutes automatically uploaded and update the cards or to create new cards in those tools. The end result is that there is a very, very consistent and ready to share minutes of the meeting draft that needs only a quick human review before distribution. That's the beauty of using generative AI tools, right? So what is the process that goes in these behind the scenes? What is happening behind the scenes? So there is a call that is taking place and it is being live recorded, live captioned and live transcribed once again by generative AI tools. Earlier, what used to happen? The call used to go directly, the transcript used to go to the manager. But now, today, in between, you have some generative AI tools which are going to transcript, probably translate, and not only do that, but also do sentiment analysis of the call. For example, if some of you is dealing with an irate customer who is not who's not feeling great about your product or your services or after sales, in that case, the sentiment analysis can help the manager to take the decision to reach out to the customer directly or through some supervisor, offer them additional bonus or discounts or coupons for the future so that the customer stickiness remains there and the customer also feels valued that, okay, I'm there. These people are taking care of me despite their best efforts, something is not happening, right? So this is how you create customer stickiness by with the help of a great customer loyalty program. So you can build many more things around these kind of things. And some of the tools that might help you with, once again, are CallRail or Convin and RoboNote and so on and so forth, right? So with this, we can actually create a one sentence recap with sentiment score and a follow up action for every support call, and that too within under a minute. We have to understand why prompt engineering is going to be important for us. Three words: accurate, useful, and safe output. Accurate, useful, and safe output. If AI is the F1 car, then prompt engineering is basically the helmet, seatbelt, and airbags of it. You have to remember, if AI is your F1 car, then prompt engineering is your helmet, seatbelt, and the airbags of that F1 car. You have to remember that always. Prompt engineering involves techniques like clearly stating the task that you want the LLM to do, giving the examples to learn. One shot or few shot prompting would be there. We are going to see some examples. Asking the model to think step by step to improve the reasoning outcomes, specifying the output formats like bullet points, JSON, or tables, and so on, specifying the role it has to take on or to target, combining multiple prompts to use feedback loops to refine results, and so on, right? You have to think of it as a designing a conversation or setting up a task for very smart assessment. That's what you have to do. Now, each and everything becomes optional. Everything is basically optional, but some things are more important. For example, the task, the context are very, very important versus the format can be optional, and you can think upon that later. All right, coming to Grok. So this is your detailed monthly sales review meeting agenda. It has given you entire details. It has also given you the proper objectives that you have to evaluate the May 2025 sales performance, so on and so forth. And this time you can see that the agenda items are very, very clearly defined as points and subpoints. All right. Now, earlier, this kind of work would take approximately anywhere between, I guess, 60 minutes to 90 minutes for a seasoned executive, a seasoned sales representative, or a seasoned company secretary. And for a newbie, it would take an entire day, and still there would be a lot of human reviews required. But simply, instead of using a prompt such as create a meeting agenda for a sales review, if I gave a few more details, just a few more details, whatever ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok or any other model I was using, it was able to give me a far better response. This is an executive assistant in the MOM creator, minutes of the meeting creator. The prompt is that you have to act as a seasoned executive assistant or secretary. These are the minutes of the meeting. So instead of attaching them as a PDF file, I'm just going to upload them to as part of my prompt. And based upon that, it is going to give me a summarized minutes of the meeting uh, in this particular format. So let me just copy the entire input. And this is only a sample output. Every time you are going to execute the same prompt on the same LLM also, it is going to give you the output, which is a little different. Remember this thing, because these are probabilistic generations. They are not deterministic systems. So they always try to find the probability of something happening forward. So let me just start once again a new chat, and let's, hello, is there a question?
Sorry, no, I just think someone was unmuted.
All right, no worries. So let me just paste this entire prompt along with the data. Typically, what we would be doing, we are going to, let me just, all right, let me just create a copy, a new file of this document. And let me show you how to upload a document itself and save the file. Sorry, minutes of the meeting. Let me save the file locally on my machine as a PDF. So I go to desktop, I save the file. All right. So instead of typing everything, I'm just going to attach the file over here. Once again, I'm going to copy the prompt. This time I'm going to use ChatGPT. Once again, I'm going to attach the file. And once it uploads the file, I'm going to click send. And let's see the output for both these LLMs. Now, the minutes of the meeting were in a totally different structure, as you can see from here. For example, uh, who attended the meeting objectives, the key discussion points, the decision made, action items, next steps. But we wanted a very, very simple structure of this particular thing. We wanted an overall summary. We wanted action, we wanted decision, and we wanted information, right? Only these three items were there. Now, this particular set of description might not fit you, and it is totally dependent and customizable with you. All right. So let us see what the outcome that Grok has generated. So you have the structured minutes of the meeting, the basic details of the meeting are there. Then the action items, and it is also specifying who is responsible, what is the deadline, and so on. The decisions that were made, some information, and the overall summary. Let's look at the output that ChatGPT has generated. So instead of giving the overall summary at the end, ChatGPT has given the executive summary or overall summary in the beginning. That is something that I would like more in my reports rather than looking at the summary in the end. Summary is typically given at the beginning, right? Then once again, it is given the action typically in the same style as Grok. Decisions are far more concise and information is far more structured and in a better presented manner. All right. So there are many different examples of these prompts and their sample outcomes in this prompt book. We do not have the time to cover many of them, not even a few of them, but we have created this prompt book and you can see there are 35 pages, including the responses that you can try out at your end. The most important idea behind this prompt book is to help you understand the importance of getting your prompts right. All right. The big question then comes is how do we integrate generative AI into business processes, right? You have to identify the value, you have to align the goals, you have to integrate the system smoothly into your system, existing systems. You have to monitor and you have to stay ethical. But these five action items apply to any new tool, any new action item, or any new solution that gets implemented in any organization. But generative AI has very unique challenges. So, for example, you require continuous tutoring and continuous support, which is tailored to your requirements. It cannot be one size fits all. For example, it's not a solution like MS Office that you purchase the MS Office subscription. Uh, Whatever tools MS Office is, whether it is Excel, presentation, Word, everyone uses it. It's not a toothbrush, right? Remember this. It is a very, very finely tailored solution for each company, for each individual. It has to be very efficient when it comes to administrative automation because you have to identify all the possible outcomes and pitfalls that you want to address with the help of automation. You have to clearly state the objectives. You have to clearly state the matrix on which you are going to test the success of your agentic AI solutions, achievements, and so on and so forth. Now, how DataCouch can help you enable your generative AI solutions? There are many, many things that we do. So, DataCouch expertise is in end-to-end AI consulting. We are into AI consulting, implementation, and training for almost a decade now. The company started in 2016, and AI was one thing that we were great at, not good at, we were great at. And we are leaders in all those things. And all the other things that we do, whether it is cloud or data engineering, they all add up to our AI capabilities because all these things help or have helped to bring AI where it is today. Custom model fine tuning. So we can tailor GPT, DALI, and any other model that is to your unique requirements that is going to start working with your context and with your data. Infrastructure and deployment, whether it is cloud native solutions, on-premise solutions, or hybrid solutions, we do that also. We do ethical advisory and consultancy from compliance perspective, from risk and assessment, and many other aspects. Then finally, we do support and training with the help of our partners such as Training Force.